Hi, this is Jeff, the Thrifty Overlander. In this video I'm going to cover how I do the camp life setup of my Xterra, how I sleep in it, and how I get at things that I need while I'm camping. As a bonus, I have a little bit of footage of some unique items of my friend Mike's camp life setup as well.
Real quickly, I wanted to show you my previous setup in my Xterra. I had the PVC rack that went from the back all the way to the driver's seat, and I filled that with all my equipment and gear. My cooler was where the bed is in this image, and I set it outside every night. So this is my current setup. I have the fridge slide on the right and the dry food on the top of that. And then the left is the entire sleeping area. It's about 6.5 feet long, and it's just on a foam mattress that I get from Costco had them. And there's a reason that these one work best. I'll show you in a minute here. But it's plenty of room to sleep. It's about a little over 2 feet wide and 6.5 feet long. It was a windy day when I filmed this, so sorry about some of the sound. Some of it I'll do with narration, some of it I'll do from the original footage sound. So this is from the side, and I have my jerry can there strapped to the plastic PVC rack, and everything works well. No vapors, no rattle, no anything. Next to that is my recovery bin. Above that, I have the kitchen goods like the paper plates and stove and all that is in one bin, and above that I have a clothing bin as well. And then all the way above that, I have kind of some straps across there so I can then put pillows and even like jackets and stuff like that for when I'm sleeping at night.
I do have I've set it up as if when I go to bed I can run this buddy heater for a few minutes, kind of right there. Sometimes I put a little fan on top of the seat just to blow the air around to move the air so it warms up the whole area pretty evenly. Otherwise, the heat just goes up. And then I set that in the front seat whenever I'm ready to shut it off and go to sleep. So the reason I was talking about the blow-up mattress thing that works well is because this has got this curve on the front there, so that makes it so I can go right around the edge of that the center console thing, and then it's all straight across there for my head and everything. If it was a bigger square one, then that would kind of hit that corner, so that works out pretty well. So underneath this is the 8-gallon tub that I use, and it fits just perfectly as making the level surface from the folded down back seat in an Xterra. And then I have some traction mats, the Go Treads. Haven't had a chance to really use them yet, but they work. I have used them a little bit to level the truck with, and they work well there just to fill in that area and to make that level as well. So from the back passenger side door, you can see the rack that's in here like this. I showed that in my once over video. And otherwise I do have some, this is where I put the levelers that I use so I can be level when I sleep in here. I'm using 4 of them, so there's usually 4 more than that. I got like a spare propane tank, and then just some quick tools and tape that I have, 10mm wrench and sockets and stuff like that are right here real quick, and then a mallet if I'm gonna put in the tent stakes, like for an awning or something like that. In the front door here, typically on the seat, I'll put like the camera tubs that I have that has like the little action cameras and stuff like that, and chargers and everything. Down below, I have a couple of the soap dispensers. The other one's out being used, but they fit right down here. It's low center of gravity to have my water down there. I got a little ammo can that I have like flashlights and headlamps and other lamps there. Keep some jacket things handy. Sometimes like right here is my trash bag for the day, and then my water. That's about really it. I have my tablet set up for use while on the off-road. Right there is showing that. And then I wanted to show you, so I have filled in this case it's some foam board, and I have that on every window so that I have it nice and dark in here. And I have I've made different ones using different setups. Some of them are black foam board, and I got some white ones. I'm just using these until they only last so long, like 15 trips or something like that, but they're cheap. And then in the front I have the basically a sunshade that kind of fills it in pretty good. So it gets pretty dark in here at night, and it keeps it fairly dark during the day even. So I'm pretty happy with that. You can see across the way how the foam boards are in there.
For carrying firewood, I found the IKEA bags work really well. They're pretty large, they hold quite a bit of wood, and there's some good sturdy handles on them, so you can kind of grab the whole bag and haul it that way. I also is using the what I call a bumper skirt. It's just velcroed onto the back. It's a piece of cordura, and it helps quite a bit to not get your pant legs all filthy whenever you're on dusty roads and the bumper gets covered with dust. This next image is an example of how I would do cooking on the road with the slide out from the fridge side, and everything is pretty handy right that way.
Okay, just to show you what I do while I'm on the trail, I don't pack everything completely away. So I kind of just roll up my sleeping bag, shove it behind there. This is the air mattress. It's just kind of, it's foam air mattress, I should say. It's just sort of rolled up partially with a little bit of air still in it. Here's the 8-gallon action packer that was on the floor. I just do a quick strap on that. So this just makes it quicker for each day and night while I'm on the trail. So there's not as big a deal to get set up and all that. Whenever I'm getting ready to be done, I'll pack it away in its proper bags and stuff like that. So then in the back, I got I strap my chair to the side of the fridge there. I got the foam window liners up there strapped down, and then I just throw in the bag of firewood. So I still got plenty of empty space here if I do more firewood and stuff like that. So that's how it is for travel each day. I try to make it so I get the least amount of rattles. That seems to work pretty good. All right, nothing like getting up in the morning and having a gourmet breakfast, man. I'm like 30 ingredient breakfast here. This is all the choppings, everything's all there. This is how you camp, cook. Jimmy Dean, ready to eat, just heating it up. The end results of my chopping and including all the ingredients to make this beautiful gourmet breakfast. It's meat lovers, by the way. So Mike's got his gourmet breakfast going. He's got actually more effort in it than I do. So he's got an omelet using some egg beaters. In this case, he's got the Rembrandt brand. Different ones, different times. They're whole eggs this time instead of just the whites. Puts a little oil in, adds the egg beaters, and at a certain point flips it. And then of course there's cheese. Can't have an omelet without cheese. I think the more cheese the better in my book, but I'm sure there's a limit. Bingo. I guess there isn't a limit. I can't believe you got that much cheese in that omelet.
Could use more.
Kind of a tragic side note, Mike and I, to get out of the wind, cooked our breakfast inside Tin Shack this trip, and 2 weeks later, this is what it looked like. Somebody decided they didn't like that shack at all for some reason.
So this is one of my kitchen setups I used today for making breakfast. I took the tray table and drilled the hole out a little bit so the stove will drop down in there, so it's not so tippy and it's a little more protected from the wind. And if I'm not using it to cook, I'll use it for other stuff, or put the water on there, wash my hands. Got my winter 54-quart refrigerator here. This thing's been great. So one upgrade I recently made is to add a LED strip all along the tailgate. You can buy kits to do this, but it's a lot cheaper to do it on your own. It doesn't look so bright right now, but at night it's really bright. It'll light up the table, the whole area behind the Jeep, and then I got another strip inside here running along the hardtop. Does the same thing. So obviously I have a rooftop tent. This is a Chinese tent, like many of them are, made by Beijing Sunday Campers, very well-known name brand. We imported this tent directly from China, which was cheaper, but a lot of work and a lot of fees you don't expect, duties and port fees and transportation fees. So it's the smaller size of the hard shell tent, and this thing is great because I set my stuff up in there, sleeping bag, pillow, the ladder, everything goes inside. I close the tent. It doesn't have to come out, go in the Jeep, and I can have it for the next day. And one problem I figured out really quickly with the rooftop tent is going up and down the ladder, bringing my stuff in and out. So I made these trays that mount to my rack, which is a Rhino rack, and I just slide in and lock, and I can put my bag out here. I put my boots outside when it's not going to rain. Bottles, anything that's coming in, I pile it on the trays. and then I put it in, or when I'm getting out of the tent, I put it out, and then when I'm set up at camp, I use it for other stuff. So these have been great. I've never seen anybody else has made something like that. I'm surprised, but I would go crazy without them. So the ladder is not the original ladder that came with this tent. This is actually the much maligned ladder from the auto home, Magdalena, or Magnolia, whatever it is. And I switched to this ladder because I get a good deal on it, and because it's smaller. So it fits in the tent with less bulk, so it makes it easier to close with my memory foam mattress and all that stuff in there. And since the tent doesn't overhang the rack, I had to put these cleats on, or these hooks. They used to be shiny. They're not anymore, so they obviously weren't stainless steel. And the ladder just hooks into those right in the side of the roof rack. And you can see I've kind of moved them around a few times, but I don't mind drilling a few extra holes.
This last little bit of video is Mike's attempt at Spider-Man impersonation as he puts his tent away. This is 6x speed, and I think it ended up being about 3 minutes and 10 seconds to do his tent put away. He didn't include putting the ladder in, but that's a couple extra seconds.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe. We'll see you on the trail.